Either we are there or not, ITSPmagazine still gets the best stories. There are plenty of conferences and all sorts of events that spark our curiosity and allow us to start conversations with some of the world's brightest minds. In person or virtually, we sit down with them at the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society. Together, we discover what the synergy of these three elements means for the future of humanity. Knowledge is power, now more than ever.
Marco.
John, where are you gonna go?
Going to the other side.
The B side? You know, often is the B side is the better side. I mean,
I know.
Good music on the B side. I gotta say that.
I know. I think that's the inspiration for a series of conferences that our good friend Jack started many years ago.
I heard it from him.
On. Yes.
You two know Jack Daniels personally?
Yes,
we do. Yeah. Jack's a good dude. We've had many chats with him.
At BSides, one of those B-sides.
Well, was it? Well, we met him in Santa Monica even before a B-side.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what that was.
Yeah.
We sat on the beach and had drinks with Jack Daniels.
During a really bad fire, if you remember.
It was a bad
during
fire
a really bad fire up on the Malibu.
When is it not a bad fire?
Well, it's the time of the year. But anyway,
yes. we
that's
digress.
a story for another time.
This
is the time for another.
Actually, this is a story I'd like to hear.
Yeah,
you can just stop it right there.
Well, you're just
I
gonna
met
have to
Jack
have your own.
Daniels in Santa Monica.
You're just
and
gonna
there's
have
a
to have your
fire.
own podcast, and we'll be the guest. How about that? Let's do that.
Okay.
Now, right now, we're here for your story, the B-side story,
That's
the
right.
NYC. So, proper introduction, though, Sean, because we're talking and chatting.
I know
Who
people
we
are
talking
listening to
to
this and they don't know who we are. This is Sean and Marco, obviously, and we're thrilled to have Huxley Barbee on, who is putting together an event. It's been on hold for a bit, and it's back in full force. Huxley, tell us a little bit about you and what you're up to, and the history of BSides NYC.
Yeah, so I don't think anybody wants to hear too much about me. I'm the security evangelist at RunZero, but I'm also the lead organizer for BSides NYC. And BSides NYC was one of the casualties of the pandemic. The last one was 2018. There was a hiccup in 2019, and then boom, like nothing happened ever since. And I contacted the founders of the conference about a year ago, let's say 10 months ago. I said, hey, I really think we need to bring this back because this is New York City and we can't not have a major security conference. And they agreed to sort of hand the reins over to me. And here we are 10 months later. And we have this amazing conference that's happening in 11 days here, right? We put out a call for papers. We received 127 submissions.
Wow.
For the call for papers. That is 50% more than 2018. Like way more submissions than we had in the past. And so one of the great things about this is we have the opportunity to get really picky about our talks. It was a 17% acceptance rate. And we have fielded speakers that are coming from as far as Sweden and Italy, places like this. And we have talks that just absolutely run the gamut. We have an entire track of red team talks, all technical, entire track of blue team talks, also technical, and then an entire track of other colors of the InfoSec wheel talks. And then we have hands-on workshops. And then we also have our village area. One of the interesting thing about the village area is a lot of the villages are DEI or career development focused. So one of the things about New York is we have a lot of students. We have a lot of cybersecurity programs, and this is definitely an opportunity for students to come and look for ways to grow their career, but also help them understand all the nuances within cybersecurity and where they might go one day. Because there are a lot of niches within cybersecurity, so that really helps as well. So all in all, really, really excited about a full day of just wonderful sharing of knowledge and information experience from people from all walks of life in the cybersecurity community.
So speakers from everywhere. Do you have a sense of registration? Do you have folks from all over the U.S.? You must have some from the other side of Niagara Falls as well, coming down from Canada. How about internationally?
We do have a
sense of that?
speaker.
Yeah.
We have a speaker coming down from Montreal, I think.
Okay.
But in terms of registrants, participants, it's probably mostly in the New York tri-state area. It's only the third one of this conference, so we don't necessarily have that national draw yet. But who knows? Maybe in a few years the three of us will be back here again talking about how this is now like the biggest conference in the Northeast or something.
To reconnect about the origin story with BSides, that was exactly the idea, to create a community where you couldn't really have the community. Now, you'd be surprised thinking that New York City wouldn't already have something really big going on there. But I think that the fact that you're getting more people locally, I think that's one of the pure core mission that BSides always had. So now, being New York City, I'm sure there'd be people coming from all over the places, but I think that's a plus. Keep the community strong locally.
Yeah, accessibility is definitely one of the core pillars of this particular BSides. For that reason, we try to keep the cost as low as possible. So tickets are only $15, whereas some of the other BSides I know are like $75, $100. They're up there. So we're trying to make this as accessible as possible. And if you're a student registering with a .edu email address, we're going to automatically refund you your ticket price.
Nice. And speaking of students, I know a lot of BSides do resume workshops and interview trainings and things like that. What are some of the things you're doing for some of the newer folks joining?
Certainly the three of our villages, we got CyberSN, we got Heart Purpose. They are all career and Ninja Jobs. They're all career development focused. Some of them will be doing some sort of like resume review type thing, where they're helping students going over their CV, understanding like whether or not they're putting their best foot forward. But also in the village area, we have a podium where there are a lot of career development talks. So one of the talks is a state of the cybersecurity market. Another one is somebody, Kevin Apollinario, he's sharing his own experience of how he moved from fast food into the help desk, into cybersecurity. And we also have two speakers talking about what it's like to search for jobs if you are if you're early in career versus if you are a late stage professional. So lots of stuff for people who are looking for jobs, who are trying to grow their career in cybersecurity for sure. That's one of the focuses of the village area this year.
Yeah. Love it. And where is it?
Important,
Manhattan,
right?
Brooklyn, Queens.
It is in Manhattan. It is in Manhattan. It is at John Jay College, which is where we hosted it the last two times. So near Columbus Circle on 59th between 10th and 11th Avenues.
All right. So the 1, 2, or 3 lines up or down.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3 ACE. That's gonna work. I mean,
perfect.
you could do like the BD if you want. But it's a bit of
Okay. Now you're going to New Yorker on me.
Sorry.
So
so blue line or the red line or the orange line.
Like being in LA, I feel like now I'm going to start throwing 405, the 10, and then get on the 14, all of that. No, seriously, I want to get a second here because I've been at, a few BSides. We've been talking about that. We talked about the community, and I can never be talking too much about how great the InfoSec community is. And if there is a place and a moment that it come together is when you have this local event. So I'm a big fan. I've seen the caliber of people actually that sit down volunteering and telling you and helping you while you're looking your job. I mean, people that are very well known in the industry, they're always happy to do this. So I'm glad that you guys are doing it again. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're all very excited. The planning committee, the volunteer crew that's come together, and the speakers, of course. We're all very excited for this major event happening.
All right, so 11 days. Today is the 11th. We're recording this. So that makes it the 22nd of April.
Correct.
You said it as well. And morning to evening. 9,
Yes.
9,
First
10? When's it
first talk is at 9. Opening remarks by myself and Professor Shweta Jain. That's at 9. So you don't need to attend that because we're just organizer and venue. But the keynote starts at 9:20. So you definitely don't want to miss that. Lance James is going to be talking about his thoughts on how we need to reboot our thinking. So the theme of the conference is the reboot. Obviously, we're rebooting the conference, but Lance is going to talk to us about how we need to reboot our thinking in cybersecurity. And so that's going to be a really interesting keynote, and I think everybody should be there for that. So 9:20, and it goes right up until 6:30.
Love it.
Very cool.
And having spent some time with you now today, I'm going to suggest everybody get there for 9 to hear you speak and to get to meet you in person.
Oh, no.
You're responsible for bringing this community together with your peers, of course, helping. So everybody should, if you're there, if you want to make it there, head over to BSides NYC on the 22nd. And of course, we'll put links in the show notes for how to get your tickets with a note for students that get reimbursed if you sign up with a student.edu address. And any other links that you want to share, Huxley, related to BSides NYC?
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and for everybody listening, this is one of those short podcasts that Sean and I are starting to do way more, and I think it's kind of cool because we just introduce things that we're passionate about, do a recap, and sometimes we just blah blah a little too much, but this is exciting. Everybody should just subscribe, stay tuned, and definitely show up for BSides in New York City.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of our on-location conversation. If you learned something new and this podcast made you think, then share ITSPmagazine.com with your friends, family, and colleagues. If you represent a company and wish to associate your brand with our conversations, sponsor one or more of our podcast channels. We hope you will come back for more stories and follow us on our journey. You can always find us at the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society.